everybody's ready, then I need you to get down onto the floor, or if you're using your bed, lie on your bed on your back. Have everything nearby so that you don't have to be shifting more than is necessary. You don't have to be moving around a lot to get things. Have it all on the floor or on the bed right next to you. So go ahead and lie down on your back. And we're actually have the strap right next to you, but we're not going to start. That'll be our second thing. Bend your knees. If it helps you to feel more comfortable, step your feet away from each other and let your knees so that your knees don't have to be touching, but it's just like this. That's actually has a name. It's called the constructive rest position. But you just want to lie there, reach your fingertips toward your feet, and now relax your hands and your arms against the floor. And scan your body from the crown of your head to the soles of your feet. Your mind, body, spirit. And notice what you're feeling, where you're feeling it, how you're feeling, physically, mentally, spiritually. Making notes, taking notes, not judging, not trying to fix anything or change anything, you're simply noticing. And with this information, I invite you to ask yourself, what would I like to receive from yoga this morning? What would I like to receive? It could be anything, of course. And it could be physical, it could be mental, it could be emotional, it could be strength, it could be focus, it could be relaxation, it could be anything. Take all the answers in and decide which one feels best for you this morning. And place that one thing behind your heart. Allow it to radiate throughout your whole body, to the crown of your head, the tips of your fingers, the soles of your feet, so that your whole self is alive with your intention for this morning's practice. And now feel the waves of your breath. Feel the rhythm of your breathing. Notice where you experience the inhale. Where do you feel the inhale coming in? Where do you feel it in your body once it's in? Where do you feel your exhale? So allowing yourself to sink toward your back. The front side of your body relaxes and releases towards your back. Be aware, become aware of any tension or gripping or tightness that you might be experiencing in your back. So often we sit down or lie down and we're still holding on. And let this be an opportunity to take notice, because as soon as we take notice, the body responds by softening. Now I invite you to take the loop that you made and place it around your ankles, like kind of above your ankles, more on the bottom of the shin bone. Bring your feet back down to the mat. Point your big toes in best you can. And now press your ankles out into the strap. So the strap is kind of holding you in and you're pushing your ankles out. Not your knees though. Your knees kind of come toward each other. It's just the ankles that are going out. And remember, we all do the best we know how. So if something isn't working the way you think it should or expect it to, remember to visualize, because that mind-body connection is so incredibly powerful that even if we cannot do something, when we visualize, the body-mind gets the message that this is what we're aiming for. And so we start moving in the direction of.
And special, I wasn't
So you're pressing your
email ahead of time.
ankles out, letting the knees still come toward each other.
Okay.
George?
Remember, George, you're being recorded, so keep it clean.
I'm doing fine. Just like
Okay, good. So you keep that strap around your ankles. And now take either your sofa cushion or your bolster if you have one, or those folded up blankets. Take two of them and lift your butt up. Do whatever you have to lift your butt up, and then put the blankets underneath your buttocks. Lower yourself back down, relax against the blankets or the bolster, whatever you have. And now press your ankles out again. So you're pressing your ankles into whatever loop it is that you have. You're just going to stay here for a few breaths to let the pose integrate itself into the body. So a few breaths. Just notice what's happening. Notice where you're feeling this pose. Certainly your ankles are working, your muscles are working to get your ankles to press into the strap. And now relax your ankles, take your feet out of the strap. Just put the loop over to the side someplace. We'll pause here for a few breaths in and out. Morning, puppy.
George, can you mute, please?
yes.
Thank you.
Now, with your hands on your left thigh, bring your left knee close into your chest as you can. Bring your hands behind your thigh.
I'm still getting the
You
towels
can
underneath
clasp
my
your
butt
hand
full.
and just draw your knee in as close as you can toward your chest. Now stretch your right leg out. And reach your right heel away from you. And reach the ball of your big toe away from you. And keep pulling that left knee gently in. This is actually another thing that you can do for your psoas. We do something every day for our psoas, right? And now there should be a rousing chorus of yes.
Yes.
Thank you.
We're all muted, Paula.
So somebody have a question?
You're not muted.
Yeah, you're not muted today, so that if you have a question, you can ask me a question, because even though this is wonderful to be on Zoom so that you can be at home and you can be on the floor and take advantage of this situation so that you get to stretch and experience things that are really good for you that you can't do in a chair. It's kind of hard. So I'm modeling everything, but ask if you have a question, and that's why you're not muted today. So just be aware that you're not muted. So
Just a clarification,
I'm sorry?
just a clarification, those towels, are they under our butt or our lower back?
Under your butt and your lower, I mean, it's gonna be, they're kind of more under your butt, but they're also under your lower back.
Okay,
They're really, that's a good question, Mary. They're kind of under both. Wide enough so that they can support your whole butt, but also part of your lower back. So that when you stretch that one leg out, you're supported. When you get there, you'll feel supported on your buttocks and on your lower back. Does that make sense? Does that help?
yes, thank
Okay,
you.
good. So we're staying here for another few breaths. Just draw that left knee in a little bit closer with each exhale. Press the right foot away, especially the heel and the ball of the big toe. Breathe one more breath in. And now breathe all the way out. Release your left foot so that your knee stays bent and your left foot is on the mat, on the ground, on the mat, on the rug, on the bed, wherever you are, put it down. And bend your right knee now. So both knees are bent. This is a supported bridge position, which is kind of it opens up and releases the front of the body, which is really important because we spend so much time leaning over things and over people, including walkers, including sinks, including everything. So just staying here for another breath or two allows the front side of the body to do some releasing. On your next exhale, bring your hands behind your right thigh. Clasp your hands if that helps. Draw your right knee in toward your chest, actually a little out to the side so that it's actually moving toward your armpit. And when you're ready, stretch your left leg out. Press the left heel away from you. Press the left ball or the ball of the left big toe away. And just stay here and breathe. And with each exhale, draw that right knee in a little bit closer. Not a whole lot. Poses are meant to be steady and strong and balanced and filled with ease. So we're not supposed to be striving. We're working, and you're worth the work, but it's not about working so hard that you lose sight of something. Lose sight of relaxing, lose sight of letting go of tension. You can't let go of tension if you're striving so hard that your muscles are tense and tight. So it's finding the right effort. Stay here for a few more breaths, in and out. Just notice what's happening. On your next exhale, let go of your right leg. Let your right foot rest on the floor. Bend your left knee. Place that foot on the floor. You can separate your feet a little wider and let your knees float toward each other again in that constructive rest. And just pause here. So now I'm going to show you what we're doing, and I'm inviting you to figure out the best way for you to get there, okay? So don't just stay where you are so you can still see me, hear me. But if you're going to come to a seated position, you roll over to your side and you use your hands to lift you up. if that's what you choose to do. But wait until you see where I'm going and then you can decide. Because what we're gonna do now is put those blankets underneath our shoulder blades. And what we want is for the top of the blankets or the top of the pillow or whatever you're using, the top needs to be right at the bottom of the shoulder blades. So I'm gonna move so that my stuff so that you can, I think you can see this better. You may be able to just shift yourself on the blankets so that you end up moving to bring to the point where the blankets are underneath your shoulder blades. You may not have to sit up. You may be able to just shift yourself. See how it works. The key thing is that you want the top of whatever is supporting you to be at the bottom of your shoulder blade. And then you just relax your arms. I like goalpost position, but not everybody does. And the way you can tell that you're in the right place, I had to move a little bit because they weren't quite at the bottom of my shoulder blades, is that your lowest ribs flare out. Does that make sense? So you keep your knees bent and your feet on the floor. It's like the support, the pillow, the towel, the blanket, whatever it is you have, it's like they're supporting you in a back bend. Again, opening up the front of the body so that you can release some of the tension. And the beautiful thing about this human body that I know frustrates to no end because of the changes that that MS has brought to it. The beautiful thing is that what you do on one side affects in a good, well, if we do good things for one side, it affects the other side with goodness as well. So this releases some of the tension in the back of the body as well, because when we release this, all of the fascia, all of the muscles, all of the everything in the front, then the back doesn't have to work so hard either. So we're just going to stay here for another 2 to 3 breaths in and out. And I would like you to notice your breath in this position. Just noticing. Now I'll show you first where we're going, but we are going to turn to the side, move those blankets or whatever you have out from underneath you, bend your knees, and now take one of those blankets and fold it in half from, we'll call it top, so now it becomes more like a square. Just put that to the side for the moment. Take the other blanket or pillow or whatever you have and fold it and put it under your head. And now bring your top leg and knee back. Now at this point, you may very well be feeling that IT band complaining. We want it to make itself known at least a little bit. But we also want to support it because you can't build Rome in a day. You can't let go of all the tension in 2 seconds. So take that blanket and put it underneath your top knee. Now you may need more because if this is still really, really intense, take another blanket, take a block, take a pillow, and put it until you can still feel something, but it's not super intense. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. And then just bring that top hand in front of you. You can bring your bottom hand underneath your head, underneath the pillow or the blanket, whatever you have there. And just stay here for several breaths in and out. visualize your breath moving into that IT band area. It goes from about here to the outside of your knee. And as I don't know who was talking at the time because I was trying to organize myself, but when it's tight, it's really uncomfortable. So just being here, again, every day, you can do this before you go to bed, in bed. You can do it before you get out of bed in the morning. And wouldn't that be delicious? Because you would be releasing all of this, which would make standing and walking and even sitting that much easier for you. So all you have to do is turn over onto your other side. I'm going to sit up and come to the other side so that you can, again, see the position of my knee. So turn over onto your other side. And it may be very well, it could be very different on this side than on the other side. So before you assume, just take that top knee back. Notice where you're feeling it, how much you're feeling it, and let that determine how much support to give yourself. Like, I don't need as much support on this side as I did on the other. So just adjust. And then allow yourself to rest there several breaths. Visualizing your breath moving into that space where the IT band lives and breathes and creates tension. You just want to take care of it. Let it feel loved. In here for a few more breaths. So on your next exhale, take the whatever pillows, etc. you had between your knees out from under and turn yourself. I'm going to turn towards you so you can see better what I'm doing. But all you have to do is turn onto your belly. So I'm going to go this way so you can see better. So you're on your belly. Separate your feet so they're wide apart from each other and point your big toes toward each other as best you can. If the tops of your feet are complaining, then put a blanket underneath the front of your ankles so that you have some support down there. It doesn't have to be a lot, but it's okay if it is. If all you want to do is put one of the folded up blankets there, that will allow you to be on the tops of your feet without undue stress and strain. Okay, so once you're settled there, put your arms forward of the rest of your body. See why I wanted to do this? You can't do this in a chair. Separate your fingers really wide and have your hands wider than your shoulders. Like your, what is this called? A wide eagle, I guess? I don't know. Spread eagle. So now press your hands down and forward and lift the front of your body, your chest up a little bit. Now in this position, what I'd like you to visualize is that sacrum, that bone, that triangular shaped bone at the base of your spine. It's right around here. Visualize the top of it, which is the wider part, the top of the triangle, pressing down as you press your hands down and forward and lift up. And now, this is possibly one of the hardest things to do. Release the tension in your buttocks. Stay here for 2 more breaths in and out. And then come on back down. You can repeat it that way if you'd like, or you can bend your elbows a little more as you bring your hands in a little bit closer to you. It's still wider than your shoulders. And you'll do the same thing again, where you breathe in and on the exhale, press the top of your sacrum down. Press your hands down and forward. Spread your fingers really wide to help you come up maybe a little bit higher. If this is painful to your lower back, stop it and come right back down and go here. It's really important as we age to do things on our stomach because we tend not to. I was at the physical therapist. You can come down when you're ready. I was at the physical therapist after I hurt my back way back in January at my favorite place. And I was doing this, and there was a woman who was my age or a little younger saying, oh my God, I haven't lain on my stomach for probably 20 years. I hope that's not true for you, because this movement is so important to the health of not just our spine, but our whole being. So you can stay here, you can come up a little higher, you can come up higher still if that's accessible to you, but you're pressing the top of your sacrum down. And now just come right back on down. And from this position, roll back onto your back again. I'm going to shift because I'm in a different place. Come onto your back. If you want to keep a pillow under your head, you're welcome to do so. Have your pillows, cushions, blankets nearby because you want to make sure that you support yourself as much as your inner thighs and groin need as we do this. So we're twisting, but we want to remember that we want to keep both shoulder blades on the floor. So the twist may not be very much, and that's okay. So all we're going to do is bend our knees, keep our feet on the floor. Take a breath in, and when you exhale, let your knees float over to the left side. Now, you can, if you can keep both shoulder blades on the floor and come over with your knees all the way down to the ground, feel free to do that. But if your right shoulder blade starts to come off the mat, put something underneath your thigh, and you may have to do more than that so that you can keep your chest facing entirely up toward the sky. Relax your hands at your sides, away from your sides. So you've got at least a foot of space between your hands and your buttocks. You want space between your side bodies and your arms. You can even, if you would like, put a blanket also between the top leg and the bottom leg so that you're supporting the top leg as well. Play with it a little bit, see how it feels, see what works for you. Notice where you're experiencing any stretching, any letting go. For some people, it's on the left side, where we tend, because we're bearing the weight, we tend to be still working. And so by releasing that, it also helps release the right side. Other people experience most of it in the right buttock, the right lower back, even down toward the bottom of the buttock where the hamstring inserts. So you're just noticing, you're curious about what's happening in your body. The next time you breathe out, bring your navel to your spine. If you have something between your legs, take it out. Bring your knees back to the center And let's just stay here for a few breaths. Let the body find its way to the center. And you might even check in with that plumb line from the center of the crown of your head down through the center of the body, down through the center between your eyes, through your nose, down your mouth, your throat, between your breasts, down through the belly button, all the way down, centering just to check in to see what each side of your body is experiencing in this position and so far in what we've done. And on your next exhale, keeping both shoulder blades on the floor, the chest facing up to the sky, let your knees float over to the right, again, giving yourself as much support as you need in order to sustain the pose without it being really full of effort. And do the same thing as we did on the other side, checking in once you get there, to see where you're experiencing the pose. Are you feeling it in the left buttock and lower back area? Are you experiencing it in the right buttock area because that's where you're bearing the weight? Are you able to let go of even a teeny tiny bit of the tension by visualizing your breath going to that place where you're feeling the tension, the tightness, the stretching, whatever it is? On your next exhale, if you have something between your legs, take it out. Bring your navel to your spine. Come back to the center. Stay here for a few breaths to let your body center itself. Now, here's where you may need all of the padding that you brought with you. Blankets, pillows, have them stacked up on either side of you. So just grab them and pull them in towards you. Making sure, you might want to make sure that you keep one for under your head if you'd like. But for some of you, that might mean a really lot of padding, and that's okay, because we want to support the body in its work so that you can sustain this pose beyond our 3 breaths, which is our rule of thumb for our active poses. So your knees are bent. Bring the soles of your feet together and let your knees open as wide as they can without feeling excessive stretching in the inner thigh groin area. So that's where all the pillows and blankets will come in to support your knees as high as you need them in order to feel some stretching, but not super stretching. You can relax your hands at your sides, or you can rest them on your belly. This pose, this Baddha Konasana, whether we do it sitting or lying down as we are now, stimulates the central nervous system, and it tones the spinal cord. There's a whole bunch of other things. It gives the front of the body a stretch. It tones the vagus nerve, and the vagus nerve travels through the whole body. It touches every organ and system in our body, from up here through all the way down here, behind our eyes, our nose, our vocal cords, our swallowing apparatus, our heart, everything. It touches everything. So this is a really wonderful way to tone that vagus nerve. It's also really good if you experience hyperacidity either after a meal or just whenever. When you're here, be aware of feeling that it makes your brain alert to the here and now. So you can continue to lie on your back with your knees open, your feet together, supported. If that becomes uncomfortable for you, stretch your legs out. We're heading into Shavasana or relaxation. And you don't have to decide now what to do with your legs and your feet. If as you lie here, your body is saying, okay, that's enough with that, then stretch your legs out in a way that feels comfortable for you. You can keep the padding underneath your knees and the knees and thighs so that your legs are out as you lie here with your hands on your belly or your hands out to the sides. Or you can keep your feet, the soles of your feet together as long as this is comfortable for you. And as you lie here, I would like to give you the words of the Zen master Shangyun, who wrote, "Be soft in your practice. Think of the method as a fine silvery stream and not a raging waterfall. Follow the stream. Have faith in its course. It will go on its way, meandering here, trickling there. It will find the grooves, the cracks, the crevices. Just follow it. Never let it out of your sight. It will take you there." I invite you to breathe with me, breathing in and out a few of your normal breaths. Now breathe a slow, long, even, deep breath in, and a slow, long, even, deep breath out. And now breathe a few of your normal breaths in and out. Breathe a slow, long, even, deep breath in. Slow, long, even, deep breath out. And now a few of your normal breaths in and out. I invite you, if you would like, to continue to breathe this way. Slow, long, even, deep breath in. Slow, long, even, deep breath out, followed by as many of your normal breaths in and out as you would like. Or just breathe. And whichever you decide to do, I invite you to stay aware of your breath. When your mind takes you someplace else, when you lose track of where you are, acknowledge that it happens, celebrate that you caught yourself, and without judging or shaming or criticizing yourself, bring yourself back to your breath. Slow, long, even, deep breath in. A slow, long, even, deep breath out. A few of your normal breaths in and out. Or just breathing. I invite you to become aware of your breath. Become aware of your body. Maybe to wiggle your fingers or your toes or both. I invite you to rest right here. Breathe your breath all the way into the soles of your feet. To pause in the fullness of your breath. And now slowly, slowly, slowly let your breath out, letting it carry away with it any remaining tension or tightness of the mind, body, spirit. And pause again in the stillness. And when you begin breathing in, I invite you to turn to your side and just stay right there. Stay with yourself just as you are, right here, right now. When you're ready, I invite you to use your hands and your arms to press down into the earth, to bring your chin toward your chest, to lift yourself up sideways as best you can to a seated position of whatever is comfortable for you. Take your time. Feel your body every step of the way. can't see everybody, so when you get to your seated position, I invite you to rub your hands rigorously together to generate some heat. Cup your hands gently over your eyes. Receive the warmth from your hands, your eyes and their sockets, your cheekbones, your jawbone, all the way down to your heart. Make a smile behind your eyes, behind your lips, behind your heart, and receive the softness that moves into your thoughts, your words, and your actions. Bring your palms together in front of your heart. We'll honor ourselves and each other with the word that's used throughout the Himalayas to say hello and goodbye, and which means the light that is me honors the light that is you. Namaste.
Namaste.
Thank you for allowing me to do this with you today. I hope that you feel wonderful. If you have any questions, please feel free to ask. Have a beautiful day.